All right, everybody, here's what we're doing today. I'm not doing an oil change. What I am going to do is change out the drain plug. Now, I had the stock one in because the other one didn't come in time. I want one that I can safety wire. So I've got one off Amazon that's got a magnet in the end. See? Magnet. This one is aluminum. I have already drilled it for safety wire clips, bought a big bag of clips. We're going to safety wire it. And so we'll go over how to do that. So normally I wouldn't do this. I'd wait till an oil change, which I just recently did one, but I did overfill it a little bit. So I'm going to lose a little bit of oil. That's fine. I don't care. For the purposes of the video, I just want to get this done. If I lose a couple ounces and I have to put more oil back in, whatever. So what I need to do is remove the drain plug, which under this bike is up or down underneath there. So I'm going to set this kind of as best I can to hopefully get an angle there, and you can see what it is I'm doing. So get your paper towels, get a rubber glove, do it while the motor is cold. The water, the oil won't pour out as fast. You'll need your box set or your hex wrench. Let's see, lefty loosey when I'm upside down means this way. Let's see. Huh. I don't torque them that much, but then you get them in there and you do through a few heat cycles and suddenly, let's see, wait, am I doing this way? That would be tightening it. So I'm going to go that way. Ouch. All right, here's what we're going to have to do. Good magnet. I am going to unscrew this, make sure that the crush washer comes with it, because I'm going to have to very quickly, I think I'm probably just going to drop, I'm going to do a quick swap. I'm going to get this thing unscrewed almost all the way, but keep it in there so it's blocking. There's going to be a little bit of oil dribbling out. And then we're going to try to put this other one immediately in. Now I'm going to keep the old one just in case I ever need a spare to go back to. So I lost about 2 ounces of oil, and honestly the oil level now on the window is kind of where I want. So I did not lose that much. So we're going to go ahead, clean up my hands, make sure I didn't touch nothing else. We're going to clean that up, and then we're going to tighten that down. Throw my paper towels in there to soak up the oil that I spilled. Now, get a little brake cleaner on here. Normally, kids, wait till you do an oil change and you're pulling the thing out and draining all the oil anyway. I just figured, let's just go ahead and do this. I'm going to take this last piece of paper towel. I think I may have touched the exhaust pipe. Yep, right there. Let's go ahead and get that little bit of oil off. Okay. Good to go. Let me go get a couple more paper towels. Let me get my safety wire and stuff, and we'll go ahead and safety wire this bad boy up. All right, and we're back. So, got some paper towels, a little bit of Earl on the bolt itself. We want to make sure we clean that off. And now we're going to, we'll spray it with a little bit of brake cleaner afterwards. So I'm hand tightening it. We do need to torque it just a little bit so that it soaks up, or that it squishes that aluminum crush washer just a little bit. Not sure what size that is, so we're going to grab, let's see. I think it's going to be a 15, a 14, or a 17. So So let's go ahead, tighten that up, and then make sure there is no residual oil. Not that one, not that one. Oh shit, that one's smaller than I thought. So it's smaller than a 16, 17, 19. Oh, I grabbed the wrong ones. That'd be why. Oh, it's gonna be a 14 or 15. I was looking at one part of the sockets and then grab the other. It is that one. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten it. They only have to go to about like 15 foot-pounds, so it's snugged up now. I'm gonna give it kind of a little That's it. It's all it needs to be. Not a lot, not a just a. It ain't gonna go nowhere because we've got our safety wire. So I do is got my safety wire, and I guess we'll go to the other side, find an anchor. I mean, I could, well, I want to have it come down where it doesn't touch any headers. So I can safety wire it up here and have it just come straight down the middle. I think that's what I will do. So what I'm going to anchor it to, this bar, it's got those holes in it. It's for the radiator mount. I'm going to safety wire it there and then just run it down in between there. So let's get enough safety wire. You know, you don't want to waste safety wire, but it's not that expensive. So whatever you think you're going to need, cut a little bit extra. You can always cut off the excess and use it, you know, for another small project than to have not enough. Here, I probably put way more than I needed, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and pull this down. So I'm looping it through the hole in that radiator bracket. And let's bring it on down. And you got to take into account it'll shorten a little bit. So I want it to go to about there. So we're going to go ahead and crimp that in. And let's do it from this direction so I'm not smacking into stuff. These tools are amazing. They're great. So get that. And then we're going to go ahead and now you don't want to do it too much and tighten it because you will eventually snap it. So get it to where it's right about nice tight weave like that. Uncrimp it. And now we want to take the other end to our clip. Go to the end of the clip, pull it up tight. And then go ahead and crimp that in there, lock it in, and now we're going to spin it from that side. Same thing, tight, not too tight. Remove that. Let's see if we can see this from up under there. We've got this piece that's hanging off. So we're going to cut it, leave, you know, a little bit there. Okay. And then we're just going to fold that up and out of the way. So now I've got safety wire, goes to a clip, And you can kind of bend the safety wire to get it kind of at the angle, you know, to put tension on it a certain way and keep the slack out, you know, to pull the slack up. But now I've got that safety wired. So this here is safety wired right to there. Got a mount there. So that is safety wired with a clip. So when I do oil changes, I can just unplug that, spin it off, swap out my filter, and then go ahead and clip that right back on. We're good to go. It's not always required for track days, but I just find it's a good idea. I'm going to keep a couple of these scraps are long enough I could probably use on a small project. But that's it. That's what we needed to do today. We need to go and put in our new drain plug that's got the magnet on it, and then also lets me safety wire it. You can buy, I had to drill the hole. You can buy some that are safe pre-wired, you know, pre-drilled and stuff like that. Put away our tools and throw away our trash and get rid of our glove, and then we'll throw some more paper towels over there in that. But this now, I mean, it's ready for track days. Gonna sign up for one, I guess, in July. Missed the one for April. There was only one, and it was on the Saturday that we had nothing but like crazy rain all day. So it would have been miserable. That was the day we went up and got Jimmy's bike from South Carolina. So let's go ahead and put back our tools. Get off there, Jimmy. Let's put that away. All right, don't need rubber glovey. Let's take this out. Of course, I would drop it back in the fucking oil because that's what always happens. We're gonna go ahead and spray with brake cleaner. Well, you know what? Why not watch the process? So let's set that up. Get my brake cleaner from the other side. A couple more paper towels. I'm not gonna need the crush washer that's already been used once. Throw that out with the dirty paper towels and trash. Spray this off. Okay, we'll let that dry. Put that in the parts bin with other types, nuts and bolts and odds and ends. And we should be good to go. Now, what I will also do is anytime I've done an oil change or remove the drain plug or anything, I'll just take a paper towel, put it underneath. So if it sits all night, I have clean paper towel, and if there's any drip, anything I didn't tighten, there was a bit of grit in there, causing it to not seal very well, I can come out later in the morning, and if I see a drop of oil under the bike, I know that either something's leaking or I didn't clean up. You know, when the oil was coming out, it spilled and dribbled somewhere, and I didn't clean it all up as well as I thought that I did. So I will leave that under there just to double check. Now I keep saying I'm almost done with mods. Well, there really isn't much left to do. At this point, I just have to determine, can I live with the stock suspension, which is okay, or do I go get an Öhlins or K-Tech shock, have Kent up at GMD replace this shock with a much nicer shock sprung for my weight, give me a more compliant but firm ride, more control, and do the same on the forks. You know, just do what we did on the Speed Twin over there. You know, here I went with Öhlins shocks on back. I got the steering damper, and then I took it to Kent, and we pulled the forks off, pulled all the guts, springs, fluid, valving, everything out. Only stock is the physical metal tube itself, and we put in K-Tech Racing cartridges, new caps that gave me preload, compression, and rebound, all new valving, new oil, new springs for my weight, everything transformed the handling. Same thing we did with the Z900. I need to decide if I want to do that here. If I do that here, probably looking at $1,800 to $2,000. I just don't know if I want to spend the money on that right now. That's a decent chunk of change, you know. Mid-pipe and a flash and some other things. Pretty cheap, good bang for the buck. Doing shock and full suspension and labor and all that stuff, we're starting to get up there in price. So I may go ride it the way it is for now. And, you know, maybe I just start with the shock. And that's good enough for now and then worry about the forks later. Yeah, it's like if I really wanted to, I guess I could go spend the money. It's just, I don't want to spend that much more money right now. But we got our protection, we got our tail tidy, we've got our tune, we got the exhaust, we got our camera mount, I might get a taller windscreen, get a clear one, so if it's taller, the camera can shoot through it. I don't want a big goofy screen up here, but something that came up maybe to here and deflected a little more wind and put the camera in that pocket, so if I'm not running the wireless audio out of the camera, it'd be nice to have it here and not getting the microphone messed up from all the wind. Other than that, I mean, the brakes are good. I might do braided lines at some point. There's always something you can upgrade. But honestly, we're damn close to 150 horsepower at the wheel now, somewhere in that ballpark. 148 to 152, I don't know, it depends on what dyno you're on, but it's running strong, man. The thing's a hoot. It sounds great. The electronics are just absolutely sublime. And now we're all safety wired, so I'm going to go sign up for probably first weekend or third weekend of July. I think STT and N2 are going to be at Road Atlanta. So I'll get up there and I'm going to take this out. I've already had the big girl out there a bunch of times. I want to do that. I really want to do a track day on this because I think it's just lighter and more nimble than the ZX14, obviously. And it's got better electronics and a quick shifter. But I need to get some footage for my channel. I need this out on a proper racetrack pushing it. I think that'd be great for views and stuff. And I think there's just not a lot of that kind of content out there. So I think that would be a really good thing. And it'd be a fun experience. Taking a bike like that, put $3,000 in mods, tuning, suspension, and dampers, and all kinds of shit into that, better tires, and then go out and hit a track day on it. Because everyone looks at this like a cruiser. It's never going to be that. It's never going to be that. It's never going to be that. But it's a lot more than you think it would be. And I would like to go out and prove that. So anyway, that's the update for today. New drain plug and just how to safety wire shit. Basic stuff, not anything groundbreaking here. But I told you guys I would do, oil changes. And we got Jimmy coming over. We're going to do his front brake pads on his R1. That was one thing I didn't show. I just kind of came out and did it and then was like, oh shit, I should have the camera going. We'll do it on his R1. We'll replace the brake pads probably this weekend. Also, stay tuned. We got another episode of Dave's Garage where Jonathan's coming over with his 2022 Street Triple RS. We're doing an exhaust swap. We're going to go aftermarket exhaust, and maybe I'll drop a better tune in it. I'm going to go play with that in a little while and see what it looks like. If there's any areas I think we can improve on that. And then we will go from there. So everybody, sit tight. Hope you enjoy. Hit like, subscribe, share with your friends, and stay tuned for more content.